Okay, so it is our day 28 of doing Leetcode daily until I get a job. So, yeah, let's start with the questions. So, what we have today is this as the first question: capacity to ship packages within D days. That I just found it. That's a good question. So, I just decided to do it. And let's see. See, a conveyor belt has packages that must be shipped from one port to another within days. Okay. The ith package on the conveyor belt has the weights I. Each day will load the ship with packages on the conveyor belt in the order given by weights. In the same order, okay, we have to ship these weights in the same order they are given here. We may not load more weight than the maximum weight of the capacity. Return the least weight capacity of the ship that will result in all the packages on the conveyor belt being shipped within the days. Okay, so there's a there is a conveyor which has a specific capacity. We have to find the minimum capacity for which it can ship these weights in these much days. Okay, and it has a capacity, and in that day it can only ship that much capacity, and these orders, like these weights, must be shipped in this order only, like first one, then two, then three, then four, in this way. We cannot do like we firstly shift one and two and then 9 10 then 3 4. We cannot do this. So yeah, so we need to find a capacity. Okay, so we know that the minimum capacity of the conveyor must be what it must be. At least it should be the equal to the maximum value of this weight. Okay, whatever is the maximum weight in the in the weights array, at least it should be equal to that, right? Because if it is less than that, then obviously it cannot ship all the containers or all the weights, because it's even less than one of the containers. So minimum value of is we can write this thing that minimum value possible for the capacity is valid value is the max element of this weights array. Yeah, fine. And the maximum value, now see, we have the minimum value, it should be greater than that only. But we have a problem. If we have a minimum value, okay, we have this much as the possible values. Okay, we have this minimum value, but if we do not have a maximum value, how can we find the actually real value for the as the answer of this question? And see, one more actually advantage of finding the maximum value will be, like, if let's say if you find a maximum value which is possible for this weight of this conveyor, weight capacity of this conveyor is that if you find the minimum and the maximum, the answer must be in between this only. Then we can apply what search algorithm. It's easy to understand that if we have a minimum value for maximum value and they are in sorted order, obviously they are just integer. Let's say the minimum value is 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, maximum is 12. So between 4 and 12, it's a sorted orders of numbers, and we have minimum and maximum values, so we can obviously apply the binary search for any number we want to find. And now for that number which we want to find, we just have to apply a condition, correct? So we have the minimum value, so the maximum value, now the maximum value, what it will be? Let's just say, what could be the maximum possible value? The sum of all these numbers, if we take that, then that, if that is the capacity of that conveyor, it can just ship all of them in one day, right? So that's the maximum possible value. So int maximum we have also got, and it will be sum. So we can apply this stl method accumulate, which will give us the sum of this vector. That's again weights dot begin to weights dot end, and we have the minimum, we have the maximum. Now we can apply the binary search. So while the maximum is less than minimum, we will apply what int mid value will be. It will be minimum plus maximum minus minimum by 2. And see, now you might ask that why are we doing this thing, minimum plus maximum minus minimum by 2? Why can't we just simply write minimum plus maximum by 2? What's the reason behind this? We have seen it at a lot of places. What the reason behind it? See, the reason behind it is that, let's say the maximum and minimum are reaching to a very high value, and let's just say int max. Okay, if approaching to int max may not be equal to, but it's a very high value, let's just say, then if we apply min plus max, then it will obviously overflow. Okay, we cannot apply their addition, but we can obviously apply their subtraction, because it won't give us a value greater than the infinity or something. So to uh, like avoid the bounds overflow, we do this thing. So it's a good practice to do. Otherwise, if the constraints are like this only, that there cannot be a much bigger values, it can be done in int only. So you can just write min plus max by 2. That's your choice. So we will find now, we will check that if this capacity, if we take the capacity as mid, we have the weights array and we have the days. Okay, if this capacity is enough for shipping those weights in these much days, then we are fine with this capacity, right? But the thing is, and else, like if this capacity is not fine, then obviously we need to increase the capacity. We cannot ship all these in these much days, so we will ship the capacity, we will increase the capacity. So increasing the capacity means minimum will be equal to mid plus 1. Fine. But in this case, when we are able to ship the containers with this capacity in these days, then we know that we have the answer. Now let's check for minimum capacity, because we have to find the minimum possible capacity for this conveyor belt. So we need to minimize it. So if we are okay that 5 is the correct capacity, then we will try to go for 4 or any number smaller than that. Okay, so we should try to minimize it. So that's why we will just do what, if this is valid, then we will just maximum will equal to mid. Okay, we will try to go for a smaller value, and we will just return whatever the minimum value says. That is our answer. Okay, now what will be the function of it? It will return a boolean value, and it will check. What it's getting is, it's getting a mid number, weights and days. Fine. So if we have this, and okay, so now we have to just write a function to check whether this capacity is okay or not, to transfer these weights in these much days. So how can we check is that we will take a current weight, which will be initially 0 obviously, and we will take int calculated days. Okay, calculated days, initially it's 1 day only. So we will go through each weight, int w of weights, and every time we will add it, current plus is equal to weight. Okay, now if the weight becomes greater than the capacity we have, which is mid, then we will increase the days, and we will make the current again 0. Now if the days are equal to our current limit, so days is equals to calculated days, then we are good, otherwise not. So let's just try to solve this. Okay, accumulate is not calling anything. Fine, we can just take int maxi is equal to 0, and for and w of weights we can just write sum plus is equal to w, or not sum, we can do it on this, and that will be just fine, I guess. Okay, so it is giving output is 10 and we are expecting 15. Fine. while maximum is less than minimum, while minimum is less than maximum, sorry for this, minimum is okay, this gives us a wrong answer. This is given just the maximum value of it, right? So what we can do here is while minimum is less than maximum, we will do this maximum plus weight we have 10. So let's see out the mid at all the points. Okay, first time it goes inside, it will be 32. So it will be 55 plus 10, 65 by 2, 32, fine. But 32 is not giving a true value. 32 must give the true value, and it is current plus is equal to W. If W is greater than the capacity, we will increase the days and put again it to 0. Okay, so it's going fine there, but now it's this function is not returning good because next is 44 we are checking, and we should not check 44. Actually the mid must be equal to maximum must be equal to mid, means 32 and 10, so it should be 32 plus 10, which will be 42, and 21 is the next capacity we should check. Okay, so it's not giving the right answer from this thing. Okay, so we can do what is, we come here and we are, every time we can see out what the current value is. Okay, and we can see what the mid value is. Fine. Okay, let's see now if it does the work. Okay, 132, 332, 632 fine, 1032 fine, 1532 fine, 21 is also fine, 28 is also fine. But when we get 36 as the current and mid as 32, at this point we'll go inside and check the days. Okay, we will go inside and yeah, let's just do one more thing here. We will do what here is, we will print these days in this now let's see. Okay, now at this point just a second, yeah, okay, it's remaining 1, so it's not going inside it, or not W, it should be current actually. Sorry for this, I guess it's giving the right solution. No, it's not yet, but let's see what the problem is. At this point, when 36 is greater than 1, okay, we should check it above only. 36 is being added, means 5, 6, 7, 8 is added, now 9 is next. Okay, this should be done above. They should be taken here. Okay, and let's just for now comment this out. Okay, still it's giving the wrong answer. Let's see, we can take this here, right? Current, okay, yeah, fine, let's see. So 0, 32, 1, and do this here. So now it is giving answers like when 32 is done. See, 36 should not be the case here. So 28 is fine up to when 7 is added. When 8 is added, 8 should be on the next day now. Okay, 8 should be on the next day. When 8 comes here, it was fine at this point, but we add the 8 into it. So we have to check if current plus W is greater than mid. W is greater than mid. Okay, fine now. It comes here 8:32, 17 at the second day, and 27. So it will take 1, 2. Okay, days are okay. Days are greater or equal to not. Our calculated days are less or equal to, yes, yes, if less or equal to this, then it's fine. Yeah, I guess this will do the thing because it should not be just equal. It can be less than the limit. Yeah, perfect. Now let's just comment this out and try submitting this. Perfect. So yeah, this was one of the good questions I found out, and yeah, that's good. So next, just a second. Yeah, so this is the second question, which I find good, and this says that we are given with two known negative integers num1 and num2 represented as strings. Okay, return the product of num1 and num2 also represented as a string. So if this is 2 and 3 are given, it's given 6. So we do not have to use any of the STL or inbuilt library to convert the integer into string or string into integer. Okay. So what we can do here is, like, let's say this example 1 2 3 into 4 5 6. So if we are given 1 2 3 multiplied by 4 5 6, but they are given as strings, not integers. So what can we do here? And let's try to do the things like we will not convert them, because let's just say we run a for loop and convert this thing into an integer by like doing 0 into 10 plus 3, then 3 into 10 plus 2, then 23 into 10 plus 1, sorry, 1 into 10 plus 1 into 100 plus 23. So it will give us 123 and this, but this will create a problem, and what problem it will create is that they can have a large numbers, you can see up to 200 length numbers, and it will not be contained like a 200 digit number multiplied by another 200 digit number. You can just imagine it cannot be stored in any of the data type. So that's why we cannot just directly convert them and multiply. That will give us a runtime error with maybe TLE most probably, or the bound overflow. It will overflow the data types. So what we have to do now is, let's just think it like this, like how we normally multiply things. Let's say we want to multiply this with 456. So we will be doing what is this. Firstly, we will multiply 123 by 6. And how will we do this? We will take this first digit or last character of the second string, and we'll multiply it with each character of the first string starting from right to left, like we do in school. Okay, like 6 into 3, 18. 8 will be here. We will also maintain a carry. Carry will be gone here. 6 to 12, 13, 3, 1, and 6 1 6 and 7. Okay, then we'll skip one digit and then calculate this, then skip two digits and then calculate this, 4 multiplying by 5 multiplying by 4. Okay, so now we add these strings somehow. Fine. Now how are we doing this is that whenever we multiply 6 by 3, 18 is there, so we will store the 8 in a string and 1 is saved as a carry. Fine. Then 6 to the 12 and 1 13, so 3 will be 1, 3 will be written here and 1 is stored as a carry again. Then 6 1 is 6 and plus whatever carry is there, 7. And then we will reverse this. 738 is the first result. Similarly, we'll calculate the second result, and similarly, we'll calculate the third result. Now, first results plus 10 into second result and plus 1000 into 100 into third result, and that will be our final result. So that's how we are going to do this. So how we can start is, first is the main, like a small condition. If any of the number is 0 or any of the string is 0, then it's going to return a 0. So if num num1 0 or num2 0, then we will just return 0. Fine. Now the second thing we can take is let's just take their sizes. N is num1 dot size and m is num2 dot size. Then the next question is let's take a string where we'll be storing the results for 1 to 3 into 6, then 1 to 3 into 5, then 1 to 3 into 4. These results we will store in this vector, and this will be not the final solution, but this will the small solution. So we can do small solutions or partial solutions maybe. Yeah, that will be good name. Partial solutions. Fine. Okay, now what we are going to do is we will start from the last element of the, we will start from right to left, right, of num1. So we will start from int I is equal to n minus 1 to I greater or equal to 0, I minus minus. What we're going to do is we will take the string which is going to be our answer basically as this, a temporary string. Then we can do what is we have to take a carry and take a digit every time. Okay, so int digit will be there, so carry will be there. Carry initially 0 and the number sorry, so the number which is we are going to take the current number, right? So it will be num1 of, that is ith. Okay. So the number we have the carry. Now we have to multiply it with whom? Every element of the j, one by one, starting from the last. So int j is equal to m minus 1 to j greater or equal to 0, j minus minus. We will start from the last element and int num, let's take it digit 1 and let's take it digit 2, and this will be what? Num 2 j, yeah, minus 0 also we need to do because we want to take it as an integer and it is a string by default. Fine. So now what we can do is that once we get the two digits, we get the digit and we get the digit 2, now we need to multiply them and find the carry and carry on the things then. So their product will be d1 times of d2 plus if there is any carry. Initially it is 0, later it will be something. So now what we get the number is we will add it to the string and this will be product by 10, not by 10, it's basically this. Okay, and we will convert it to again string, so we'll do this, and carry will be what? Product by 10 carry will be. So if the number is let's say 6 into 3 18, then carry by 10 is 1. This is the carry, product by 10 1, carry is 1, and what will be the digit we will be storing? 8, that is 18% of 10. Fine, we got a carry, we got a temp. Now if again we multiply it with this, if there is a carry, then we go to next digit, right? If we get a carry, then we will store it the final result at the last. Okay, so 1 is coming, we'll multiply it by 4, we'll multiply it by 5, we'll multiply it by 6. Yeah, I guess that's the good way basically. So it will be temp plus is equal to carry plus 0. We convert it into string. Fine. If carry, then yeah, it can be removed. So this is the thing done here. So we can like visualize this thing, and then obviously we got to reverse it. So reverse the temp dot begin to temp dot end, and we have got the reverse string now. And yeah, yeah, I guess find this, and we will push this temp in our partial solutions, and we'll push back temp. Fine. See, we can visualize this. Let's say we first taking 1 2 3 3, and this 4 5 6. So it's multiplied by 6. So what's the multiplication basically? The multiplication is 18, carry 1, 15, 1 16, 1, fourth is 12, and 1 13. This is 1. So we will just 13. So it will be 3 and 1. Okay, 31. So we will just reverse it. So first string is 1368. Similarly, second string will be what? Will be multiplying 2 by 456, and this will give us 450 into 2 9, so it will give us 912. So the result will be sort like this, 912. We will reverse it. Second result is 912. Fine. And the third, wait, okay, third is we will multiply this by 1, so it will be 456 itself. So it will be this, and we will reverse it. So it will be 456. Now we cannot just directly add these strings up like this. Okay, how are we going to do this thing is that we have to add a 0 here and two zeros here. Perfect. Why do we not need to do that is, you know that whenever we multiply it like this, we add a cross here. We skip this position while multiplying it with the second digit, and we skip two positions while multiplying it with the third digit. Okay. So we need to do that also. So we need to append a 0 at the end of the second, two zeros at the end of third. So we can just do this append. So temp dot append. So append function takes two inputs. First is at which position, and second is how many numbers. And append will always be working on the last of the string. Okay. So how many how many digits and which digit we need to append. So we need to append a 0, we know that, but how many zeros we need to append at the last, that will be basically which number is it. So if it's a first digit 3, then it will be no zeros appended. Okay, so it will be n minus 1 minus I. So when I is initially what, n minus 1, so it will just cancel out, no zeros will be appended. Next time 1 0 will be appended, next time 2 0 will be appended, so that will work fine. So now we have got the strings and we have to add them up. So how do we add these strings up? We will go to we will just call a function. We'll add these two, and then we will, whatever the result is there, we will add these two. So we can do this like that, this way. So yeah, what we can do here is um, let's just call a function for this, and let's say we have to add this. So let's take the initial string, let the answer initially as 0, and for int, not int, basically string s of our partial solutions in string s of our partial solutions, we can, yeah, we can do what is we can just add the string. So answer plus is equal to Yeah. Answer at each step will be equal to, let's just call a function add values, and it will be what we will be uh, sending answer, and the second is s. Okay, so we got two strings here which we need to add, and which will return the answer. Fine, now let's press this function. It will return us a string, and I will add values, and string s1, string s2. So now once we got here, how do we add these are, we will obviously take the size, so I am just gonna copy the same thing. So not num1 or num2, it will be s1 and s2. s2 dot size. We have the sizes here. Now there will be string result. Let's just take initially as an empty string. So for, or we can say while n is greater or equal to 0, and and m is greater or equal to 0, or obviously a carry will be there, that will be or. And if we are taking as 0, let's just check it to the last index, because we are considering indices, not the sizes. So we will take a, and let's also take a carry here, carry as 0. So now we have this, we'll add this. So let's take let's take one by one digits, make them integers, add them up, then again convert them to strings. So int sum will be initially 0, then if n is greater or equal to 0, then sum plus is equal to what, the s1, and to make it integer, let's say this, and fine, yeah. And the same thing we will do for m. So if m is greater than 0, sum plus is equal to s2 and m. We got the sum, and we also have to add a carry in it. So sum plus is equal to carry here. We added a carry, and the result will be plus equals to some percentage 10, as we did in the last thing, and plus will be what, 0, to make it a string, and carry will be equal to this sum by 10. Fine. Then once we get this, we will just reverse the result. Result dot begin to result dot end. Fine, we got this result, and we'll just return the result. Okay, instead of doing this, we can do also one thing. We can just add this up here, and we can remove this. Fine, this is 0, this is okay, and I guess it's fine. Let's try running it. Okay, num1, it should be a string, I thought about it. Okay, time limit exceeded, which means okay, we are not incrementing n and m here, decrementing basically. So it will be n minus minus, n minus minus. Okay, that's working fine. So let's submit this. And yes, we are good with this. So these two were the really good questions I found, and I'm glad that I've solved them in 35 minutes, both of the questions. Like there were some small mistakes in the first questions, which if I overcame earlier, then it could have been done earlier. So syntax mistakes are being too much for me. I will try to reduce them in future, but yeah, the questions have been solved. So that will wait for today. Tomorrow, let's come again with some other good question I will try to find in the daytime. And until then, yeah, that's all for today. We'll meet on day 29.